So My Hero Academia, one of the most controversial anime in recent times, has it already fallen off? What will its legacy truly be when everything is said and done? Is it peak like RJ says, or is it ass like others may state?
I think Kardiac's a bitch.
Crazy! Crazy!
punch.
Me
Don't
personally,
You're lucky we're not monetized.
me personally,
We're gonna start swinging first. Nah, let me stop. I think My Hero's okay show that gets a lot of hate because a lot of people don't agree with the presentations of the themes at place, and that's perfectly fair and that's perfectly okay. I think My Hero's main discourse is people don't agree how Hori is presenting his themes, not the fact that the themes are there, but how he went about kind of displaying them in the story. And I hear the arguments are valid. I just don't agree. I think he's presenting the themes just fine, not perfectly. Of course, there is some aspects like, Class 1A. Who the fuck are those hoes? No, at the end of the day, too much of an ensemble cast of characters that he tried to cram into a story that really didn't need them. So things like that. You can talk about like the female cast, things like that. Him subbing out Deku for many trios. At the end of the day, I think My Hero still is a solid watch.
I can agree. I think that My Hero, to a lot of people, is an example of an anime that, like, a lot of people, it was one of the first anime that they saw in a newer generation that showed promise in terms, not only in terms of like marketing as the next Naruto, as a successor to the big three or whatever the hell, but even in terms of the story, like setting up things like the UA Trader, setting up this world that could potentially be so lived in with superheroes, superhero society, superhero schools, etc., that type of lore, examining what it means to be a hero. And to a lot of people, it just didn't live up to those expectations, which has caused basically just a pendulum swing of a lot of people just going back and saying, oh, it was always ass, it's garbage. But in actuality, it's still a pretty good series. And I agree with you in terms of, the real debate is like execution. Now we land on two different sides of the coin, but yeah, that's really the main thing about it.
See, that's the thing, the expectations, right? Let's touch on that first. People's expectations of this series seems to be a lot of people's falling off points. My main thing is, because the main thing is people says has slow arcs, right? And those slow arcs are 9 times out of 10 the examination arcs, where the school arcs, right? Where they're not fighting the villains, they're taking the school exams. I don't understand checking out a show like My Hero Academia and complaining about the academia part of the show. Like, what did you like? I'm confused.
No logic.
What did you expect coming into My Hero Academia? Like, oh my God, they're not fighting the villains. They're not Shigaraki's not here with like all this school shit. Like, it is in the title. It's in the title, my guy. Like, like, it's weird to me.
Watch the school anime. It's Monday.
It's
they have class, but
it's like watching Dragon Ball and being like, "Get this fucking dragon out of my face! I want to see some Super Saiyans." Like, I don't understand. What?
It's so crazy.
Like,
I think,
Go ahead, Robert. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I do feel like part of the school elements thing that people dislike so much is that a lot of the characters they try to enforce just don't have that build up and don't have that that development, that the only time you see these characters in these school elements, and they don't get enough development because they're trying to just force a bunch of characters at once at you. Whereas, if they developed more of them as they went and then implemented that into the school activities, I feel like it would feel better. Like in terms of like some slice of life anime, they do development well. They're in school, but they're still developing these characters. I think MHA just doesn't hit on that, even though the academia part should be in the show because it's My Hero Academia. I think a big part of that is, the actual characters just not being built up well.
I hear you, I do, but I feel like maybe some like more. I feel like the main problem for me, if I were to say a problem with the school arcs, is that they rarely ever feel tied to the main plot of the story, and that's why a lot of people feel like it's a distraction.
That's true as well.
To the events that was going on with Shigaraki and all that, and it's just like he messed up, and this is why I said this earlier. He messed up with trying to include Deku with all these trios, trying to include Deku in all these events, because every single arc it's like, oh, Deku's with someone new, and it was just like Deku doesn't always need to be the center. He probably should have done some arcs with the other students, tying them into the events with Shigaraki and the events with the League of Villains itself, and how they responded to that. But every single time you try to put Deku with somebody else, and it was like, so we gotta focus on Deku again. Now we gotta focus on this new person. It was just like it's too big of a cast. If anything, he probably could have avoided this by not making it a traditional Japanese high school setting and making it like his own version of school, so he didn't have to include all those characters.
Right.
But I think that's where the problem a lot of people have with it, because it just feels like, oh, we just had this villain arc and then pause. Now they're gonna have to take an exam. While sometimes he does tie it back, like we're gonna be spoiling My Hero, so if you're not caught up with the anime, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I mean,
like the part where you realize Deku has multiple quirks, right? That was during an exam, right? That's part of the overall bigger picture. If he did more shit like that during the exams, I feel like a lot of people wouldn't have a problem.
No, I agree. And again, that overarching thing of just having too many characters play in, I think, is a very big thing. Just to go to your point, having more moments in there, having more characters developed in the main plot of the story, and even having the exams tie into the main plot of the story, like you said, with finding out he has multiple quirks. Like if that happened more often, it would make it a lot better, make it feel a lot less dragged out, because we're just sitting through these arcs that feel like they have nothing to do with the main plot to wait to get back to the main plot, which is like, it feels like forever to get to it. Whereas I feel like it should feel like, oh, this ties in. This feels like it's more development for the characters. We want to see what these characters are doing in school, as opposed to, I don't want to see what the fuck Class B is doing. I don't care. Right. So it's like, it's just, trying to do too much and not doing enough.
I agree not only with that, but I also think it has to do with the passage of time. Up until now, even in the manga, these kids are in year 1 of high school. And I think that when it comes to not only world building, but also making those arcs feel more meaningful, the fact that it creates a narrative dissonance between the two settings, because like you said, it's a series where they're set in school. There's an expectation of academia being involved, of education being involved, of class time being involved, but that doesn't mean all things have to come to a halt when it comes to it. There's no reason why their battles can't inform, where they are in terms of their schooling. There's no reason why there's no crossover between the accomplishments that they have, the things that they go through in the villain arcs and the school arcs. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, not just the fact that, the pacing may come to a halt, or the stakes might feel like they've gone down, or the attention is being redirected to characters that we haven't spent as much time with. It's the fact that they are written in a way to where they are mutually exclusive from each other. Like, there's no reason why the most experienced heroes at this school are still first years and still taking remedial exams and still going against a class B that hasn't had to rescue their classmate from the clutches of evil, like Bakugo, that wasn't involved with even the criminals and villains breaking into the school in season 1. Like, that's something exclusive to class 1A, yet it feels like it has no bearing or no effect on their actual schooling or day-to-day lives.
How do you feel that you think it has no effect? Do you not like it, or you do like it?
No, I hate that it has no effect. Like in Naruto, when the invasion of the Leaf happened, that forced all the village elders to basically look at the Rookie 9 and be like, "Hey, these niggas just defended the entire Leaf village, regardless of whether they finished, their battles, regardless of how they got through these courses or how they tested or whatever. We now have to consider them for Joni. We now have to consider them for these things." And it had actual effects on their ninja status, and as a result, their status within the world. That is just not the case in My Hero for anyone, maybe outside of Deku.
But
and even with Deku, it just happened.
But they didn't actually end up like giving anybody Joni level. They only gave it to Shikamaru, and Naruto's just sitting there like, motherfucker, I just pulled out the Grand Master Toad from my ass and defended from Gaara. Like,
yeah.
But at the same time, that's because it played back into the Sasuke retrieval arc. That's why Tsunade sent them on the Sasuke retrieval arc, because she was like, y'all were the ones that defended the Leaf. Shikamaru already ranked up. He's already a tuning. Y'all the ones that defended the Leaf. I trust him, and also all the shit she went through Naruto with the arc prior as well. It was like she trusted them, and that's kind of why we got the Sasuke retrieval arc the way it did. It made sense in the world. Whether with My Hero, Kardiac's right. It's not he doesn't really play into it often. It's more so of Class 1A kind of going off on their own. I mean, even in the Dark Deku arc, it's not like they got the. I mean, I think they did get the approval of the teachers in class, but that's because everything was going to shit regardless. So it's like,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I saw it was in the hospital.
yeah, it was like, so it was like everything's going to shit regardless. They don't really need approval. You know, who's going to stop them? They're trying to like, exactly like, so it's like we haven't seen we've seen the growth of the characters, but not the growth of them through the system of the world, because it is weird that they've been through all this shit and they're still first years.
They do mention a few. Well, I feel like I should mention this too with the whole Naruto thing. She did say that the forces were spread thin, so then she was kind of forced to like send them. So
true, and I feel like this is a bigger problem than like battle shonen storytelling. And regardless, the passage of time is not really used as well. If you ask me, unless you're coming to unless you're coming to a giant time skip, the passage of time is not used as well in battle shonen storytelling, because for some reason they don't like to like they don't like the passage of time. Like
they don't like to age their characters. I think
they don't like to age their characters. Like, because going off to other demographics, I just finished shout out to Chihara Fuyu. I just finished binging Chihara Fuyu. It's a josei sports anime. That the anime is like 71 episodes. The manga is like 200 something, 300 something chapters. I'm currently reading the manga, it still goes on, right? The anime itself in the 71 episodes takes you through their first year of high school to their third year of high school. Like, the passage of time is very fluid throughout it. Like, and you can see their grow. You can see them growing. So each time the character levels up within the sport they're playing, you're just like, oh yeah, they're a second year now. Of course, they've gotten better. Oh yeah, they're a third year now. Oh wow, new people are joining the club. Oh, we have new characters joining the school. Like, these, like, it's the passage of time utilized in a way that's not a time skip. It's just the next episode. Yeah, you know, you've been watching so long. It's summertime. We're on summer break. After summer break, it's next year of school. Next year of school, new characters, new students. I'm a senpai now. Like, Battle Shonen doesn't do that.
Like, that's why I love sports anime, because like that's so necessary to like high school sports, because you have seasonal tournaments, and like you can't advance the story without advancing the world. And so like that's why, to me, aside from like One Piece, there's very few battle shonen to where like the actual world building is as good as a lot of people want to say that it is, because that's a crucial element of creating a believable world. Things adapting, people changing places, things moving, people being delegated and rising the ranks in the world. And if you don't have a natural progression of time, because you don't want to move time too far to where this character dies realistically, or this character moves up or gets stronger than your protagonist, and then you have to come up with another thing for your protagonist to do, or introduce another bullshit character, or for your protagonist to catch up with them, because time hasn't been moving for anyone else except the people that we're following. That creates an unbelievable world.
Yeah,
that creates something that is not like registering in real life to be able to happen in the story.
Like, think of it like when in Ennie's Lobby, when Kobe shows back up, and we're just like, Kobe? Like, and it shows you that it shows you how long it's been since episode 1. And by that point, I think you're on like episode 300 something. So it's like it shows you how long. It's like, wow, Luffy really has been on this journey for like a couple of years now. Like,
well, I mean, is it actually like only like 9 months or something? So like, really, it's not even
in game. It's like, I think it's like a year a change. So yeah, Luffy starts the series like 16. He's like 19, 20 now. So.
Oh really? Okay. So time. I felt like
One Piece has been taken on like in story for about like 3 years in story.
I do want to speak more on the MHA standpoint of things and how time, like I remember back when you guys mentioned that because they've been through it, it doesn't show within the like world or the system. They do mention it in the anime though, that there is a difference in experience between Class 1A and everybody else. I think it was in... What the fuck was it?
Probably around
I think you're talking.
Overhaul.
I think you're
No, no,
talking.
no,
It
no.
was after Overhaul. It was when they revealed
Oh,
Deku had multiple quirks, and they fought Class 1B. I think that's what you're talking about.
Nah, they mentioned it way earlier than that. It was the festival. The
Ah,
the
Oh,
festival. They were like,
Gentle.
huh? Gen?
Oh no, maybe I'm tripping.
No.
also
So
just to clarify, that was like pre-time skip. It's 9 months. That's what I was thinking of. But anyways, yeah.
so they mentioned they're like, you can. I think it was Mr. Aizawa too. He's like, yeah, you can see the difference between everybody else's skill in Class 1As because they went
Mhm.
through everything. So now they don't have that moment of hesitation of, oh shit, what the fuck do I do? You know,
mm,
they've already been through that moment of hesitation, and they already see everything as sort of like any big event or small too, even like with every test that they took, which I feel like they have to take those tests regardless, because they also do mention like in the Stain arc that hey, we get that you were trying to save no, who was it?
Ida.
Yeah, we
His
get that
brother,
you're
right?
Yeah.
Or
we get
no,
that
they're
you were
trying to say
trying to
me, right?
no, Ida. Yeah, we get you were trying to
It
save
messed up
Ida.
their internships.
Right.
Mhm.
And they're like, but you still broke the law. So
Yeah.
y'all are like what was it, probation or whatever? I don't remember what they punished them
get the
for.
fuck
Yeah,
out.
they placed the heroes that they were interning with on probation, and then they couldn't do any internships either.
That's right. They like penalized their supervisors and told them one, you'd get no credit because then we got to explain, we got to treat you differently and prosecute you for breaking the law, and then two, we're just gonna prosecute them because you still broke the law and your supervisors can't let that happen again. So,
Yeah.
which I only agree with, which is crazy considering that I beat my court cases. I only agree with that law.
Do the dash, do the dash.
I only agree with that because if you think about their world system, they're superheroes and supervillains. They're in a world where legitimately anything can happen. There's a higher chance of somebody having some wild ass quirk that just throws everything out of balance, which
Right.
already
It
happened
does.
once, aka All for One and One for All. Like that's that's the whole fucking anime right there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then if somebody else comes by uh, to throw it all out of balance again, which is who was it?
Airy, potentially. Airy's power.
Yeah.
Which one was
True.
Airy
Just
again?
reversing time.
The little
Oh,
The
girl.
girl.
yeah,
girl.
yeah, it her, bro. Holy shit! Like time,
Mhm.
having the superpower related to time is absolutely insane.
Yeah.
So
I,
it's
I
like,
yeah,
go.
I hear what you're saying. Like that's when I go back to my main point of like how still a solid show because like it is all there. It's just I think everyone's problem is its execution of his elements. Like he is crafted. He has the blueprint for a damn near masterpiece. It's just the way he's going about it leaves things to be desired in a
Road
sense.
building too, like it's a building here that's meant to be built. We're using parts for this building on this building and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's kind
Like,
of what Horikoshi's doing here, and it's just like you had the blueprints for like the modern day battle shonen masterpiece, and it's
mhm.
just like you hit at times and then you miss at others, and it was just like if like you you need to stop missing, and it's just like, but
Yeah,
we can't rewind time, so it's like
that's what's so frustrating with My Hero is like it really truly does have that incredible like potential, and I think that if like we see like as the series has continued, we've even seen those elements because even where it was at its peak with like season two, I don't even think showed how much potential there was. I think that was more seen in the latter seasons, in a season five with the My Villain Academia, in the season six with the
mhm,
war and even the Dark Day Walk, and even showing the world as a whole react to All Might kind of not being a thing anymore. I think that like all these elements that we see were what could have really driven it to be that good, and that's what makes it even more frustrating for me, seeing that and not resulting in how good it could have been. I think some people were destined to hate on it to begin with just based on like how it was going, but truly it could have been so much more. I will say though, I do think we have kind of had a lot of like negative connotations to this so far. So I will go to RJ here because we brought you on today because people have labeled you as like the My Hero guy, against your own will, right? Against your own will. But what do you think like makes My Hero good? Like what is it that does pull you in?
I think My Hero's biggest aspect or biggest positive trait is its emotion. I
Mhm.
think My Hero came out at a time where Battle Shonen particularly wasn't really uh I'm not going to say emotionally driven because you do have emotional moments in all of like the big three and all of My Hero's predecessors. I'm not going to sit here and deny that. But My Hero was very like took the emotionally driven parts of a Naruto, parts of a One Piece, parts of a Bleach, and like made it the main focus of the story. To basically from like the first episode, right? The biggest moment in the first episode is not a fight scene. The biggest moment in the first episode
Mm,
is not when All Might saves Bakugo. The biggest moment that everyone remembers from the first episode is All Might telling Deku he can be a hero. Deku literally there on his knees crying.
right.
Like that's the famous screen cap. The last scene of the first episode. It it it's very much reminiscent of if like people is if it's very much reminiscent of like the first Naruto episode where Naruto finally gets the headman, right? It's like if Kishimoto focused on that scene more so than showing Naruto's hidden talent. Because what you remember from the first episode of Naruto is that he summoned all those clones and beat the shit out of that Chunin, right? That's what you remember from the first episode of Naruto. What you remember from the first
Like a
episode of
real nigga.
Bleach, what you remember from the first episode of Bleach is that Ichigo killed that Hollow, came a Soul Reaper.
Mm,
Cool. What you remember from the first episode of One Piece is Luffy's made out of rubber. Like well, what you remember from the first episode of My Hero, though, is Deku crying, saying he can be a hero. He can accomplish his dreams, even though he is quirkless. And I think that's
right.
the emotional through line of like My Hero story and why it kind of blew up because it was just like, are we getting emotional storytelling from Battle Shonen? Hold up. Okay. Like a highly emotional driven story from Battle Shonen. And I think it's kept that consistency throughout it. Like My Hero has me in my feels sometimes. I'm like, man, I really feel for this character.
Okay. Well, what got you in your feels? Like give us some examples.
Of recent examples or just an
Yeah,
entire
so
show?
maybe some recent examples.
So it fails to
Enlighten
do
us.
it fails to do this for the side characters, but for Deku
Mm.
for Deku particularly, I think that it's the point of the recent arc right, in the anime, right? The Dark Deku arc. It's basically
Mm,
him just trying to do everything by himself. Like when you see Deku kind of stop being that All Might fanboy and kind of ignore the man he's idolized this entire time to the point where he literally leaves All Might in the dust and All Might literally can't. He's like, I'm trying to reach you. I'm trying to reach him.
right,
I'm
right,
like, bro, like that hit me. He was like, I'm trying to reach this boy. I'm trying to guide him. I promised his mom that I would guide him, and he's literally failing in front of me, and there's nothing I can do because I'm so powerless. And it's just like that Deku and All Might story is kind of like there's emotion there. And then when Deku's class basically humbles him and be like, yeah, you have all these quirk, but that doesn't mean you're invincible. That doesn't mean you're a god. That doesn't mean that you can do this all by yourself. You can be the sole hero. You need our help. You even Deku's like, I don't need your help. You guys can't stand in a fight anymore. And they're like, no, we can. We can. You need our help. Like, and we're here to help you. Like, Deku, you're saving everyone else, but who's saving you?
Yeah, can I actually talk on that too?
And that is the emotional through line of the last arc.
okay, okay.
Bro,
Go ahead, Ichiban.
bro. You provided like the perfect example. Although I feel like I disagree with like just the message, I guess entirely. You're right. Because he
Mhm.
is very like, oh, I'm trying to be like All Might, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to do that. He's trying to do everything. And I feel like I got the message that he just didn't think of himself as good enough yet.
Yeah.
The whole time that he's saving all these people, he's continuing to fight through the pain, fight through the fatigue, because he has this vision of All Might as what we've all just heard like just an insane amount of times. He is the symbol of peace. He is somebody that is reliable. unflinching, and to some just like immortal. But Deku doesn't see himself as good enough to even be that symbol of peace that he's trying to reach.
Mhm.
So he's just battling himself in, I'm not good enough yet. I got to keep going. I'm not good enough yet. I got to keep going. And it ends up fighting his classmates, like you said,
Yeah.
saying, no, you're in danger, blah, blah, blah. Get away from me.
Yeah, it all comes from a place of insecurities, self-doubt, low self-esteem. That's what I'm looking for. All comes from a
Right.
place of low self-esteem. Yeah.
Exactly. And then when he finally reaches the what's it called? The like safe house or whatever, the school, right? Is that what I'm
Yeah.
the school? He's like, I shouldn't be here. I should be out there fighting.
Yeah. Deku
Like,
thinks everyone else is worth saving besides himself. Yeah.
right. And it's just and it's like that's so crazy to me. That's what really got to me. What really got to me was that whole I'm not good enough yet mindset. Cuz I'm not going to lie, I'm in that mindset like right now. I'm like River will see my posts on Instagram. Like I'm always in the gym or always out in practice like every night, every day, fucking doing something physical. All the while I've got like work, we've got the pod, we've got whatever else going on. I've also got like just some other projects. And it's like Deku in a sense, when I see that scene, I'm like, holy shit, he's stretching himself out a little too far, trying to be like jack of all trades type deal, and just is also not getting anything done for himself. Because he's just got this mindset of, no, I should be able to do it. I'm just not good enough yet.
And I think that is a very good element. I do think again that those moments just weren't executed as well as they could have been, because the message is great. It's a great message, and I think that everyone can definitely take something from that, right? But it's more so just like I didn't feel it as much as I think I could have if it was executed better. If I would have cared about some of his other classmates more, if I would have cared about the situation that Deku was in, it felt like there was more stakes to him doing that, because it kind of felt like right when the stakes were coming, it was almost pulled back, like, oh well, like we gotta stop it here, like we're not gonna let it get too far, which I guess was part of it in terms of his his friends. I wanted to get too far, but at the same time, it felt like we needed more there, more to happen. Deku to stumble more than he did, because he didn't stumble as much as I feel like he could have to make us feel it more, right? And as much as I think that the moment itself was still not bad, it could have been better. I think that's almost the story of My Hero is these moments are fine, the best moments are good, but it could have always been better. And I think that that's the sticking point. Whereas I don't think My Hero was bad. I think My Hero was a solid, with good moments, good parts to it, right?
I don't.
But yeah,
I don't. Go ahead, Kardiac, because I know you got a lot to say.
I have nothing.
He has nothing to say.
Good. Nothing good to say. You know what they
He's
say?
speechless.
If you don't
speechless.
if you don't have anything to say, don't say anything at all. I say that to say
that.
Alex, handle my light work. Tell these niggas why this shit sucks.
I had dropped My Hero after the what's it called? Overhaul fight.
Oh no! I know why. Oh.
After the screen slide,
Fuck
after
you,
the
Kardiac.
slideshow, after the PowerPoint of the season.
I don't understand this fall off. I think
you don't understand bad animation.
I don't First of all, bad animation. It was all right. It
would have to be animated for it to be good animation.
It was animated. It was all right. Y'all still
it was drawn.
Nah. See. Demon Slayer has spoiled y'all niggas. All right, Demon Slayer has spoiled y'all niggas. And now if it doesn't come close to Demon Slayer or anything One Punch Man season 1 related, y'all like it's bad. Because niggas really still saying One Punch Man season 2 is bad.
Bro, that should be off.
One Punch Man season 2 is cool.
Who said that?
My Hero.
People do say that.
My Hero was cool. It was cool. Could it have been better?
Who said that?
Could it have been directed better? Yes. I'm not going to say it couldn't have been directed better. The direction was a little off. But was it garbage, terrible? Oh my God, we're so done for, cooked X arm? No. Like, they could have given y'all Berserk 2016, but instead they gave you fucking 2000 Shonen. Like,
It wasn't even Record of
At the
Ragnarok,
very-
bro. Come on.
At the very least, 2016 Berserk
It
was
was
experimental.
saying that it was Record of Ragnarok.
Stop.
Ew.
I said
At the
at
very
least it
least.
wasn't Record of
Regular
Ragnarok.
Ragnarok is not that bad. All right.
If that's not
come
that
on.
bad, then
That's a
how was My
fucking
Hero
lie.
bad?
Come on.
I
It
like
could've-
watching it. All right.
It
Chew
could
me
have been
out on
Record-
that.
That is a
it could've been
literal
Record of Ragnarok,
slideshow.
but no.
This man,
It's not the animation. That, well, I guess it all.
I didn't really.
The way
drive
the
to
house
animation.
husband? Come on, bro.
It was.
Okay,
It was
that's
the-
a real anime. That's real.
it was the
slideshow.
direction. Like they didn't get creative with how they were going to move the camera with the shots of most of the fight scenes in
The image Ava
They
Gray
just-
called over Erz is hilarious.
they just showed us.
That
Um,
is correct.
The thing about it is, you're right. It's in a vacuum.
Mhm.
Is it the worst animation that we've gotten? Is it the worst treatment that an anime has ever gotten?
Mhm.
No. But considering the level of anime that My Hero was, like I was very much a My Hero like fan, if not like it was probably. No, I was about to lie. I'm not River. It wasn't in my top 10, but it was a really good series. Like,
Hey.
What is that?
You know, just to say this, it's about to go for his claims. What I did find Kardiac by was I was watching his old My Hero videos back on that channel. That's what I first seen from Kardiac.
Ooh.
I look. I had a My Hero keychain. It's in the video, right? But look,
Nah.
the thing is,
Admit it. You got
What?
an All Might body pillow.
fuck it. It's a blanket. Anyway,
I'll cover those sheets in the background. We got to see those My Hero sheets real quick.
Show us what's under your bed right now.
I'm saving the Bakugo one for later. Leave it alone. But when it comes to My Hero, the level that the manga, the level that the anime was, right? The level of adaptation that it was getting so far, the level of story that it was telling so far, the level of hype, and the moment that moment actually was, Mirio losing his quirk, at the very least temporarily, just story wise, but like, in the grand scheme of things, losing his quirk, losing the thing that made him special, losing Lemillion was such a pivotal moment and was supposed to be such a pivotal point in the story and anime that the level of quality that it was is the equivalent of a not Berserk 2016, but is the equivalent of like one of the largest letdowns in modern shonen anime. It just is. It is like that is a moment to where when it was first written, that's what called people into question like whether Deku was actually worthy of one for all anyway, because that was the point. The point of that arc was to show another candidate for one for all that was just as selfless, that was just as whatever, not to get people to question, but to show that Deku isn't alone, but also show that it takes some luck to get to where Deku was, and that's okay because it was supposed to give Deku that much rest on his shoulders. I mean, not rest, that much weight on his shoulders to carry into the following battle with Overhaul, which was amazing.
River, why?
And it
River,
was good, it was
shut
good.
up. Why are you laughing?
I'm sorry.
He's laughing at his turtle.
Mega Turtle said, "Damn, Kardiac was using his My Hero shampoo this morning."
I feel you. I hear you. But at the same time, I don't know, because maybe it just goes. I feel like a lot of my opinions come from just watching anime for so goddamn long that
30 years
before,
now.
huh?
Keep going.
That's it. Before, like, it goes. Oh, sorry.
You sold him.
Anyway, it goes back to my animation is not that important video, where if you're still doing the story right, I can look past
Cook.
bad direction. I can look past, because it's like how I feel about, I don't know if this is a hot take or not. It's how I feel about Mushoku Tensei season 2.
Kardiac, stop! What are you doing in the chat? Get rid of that.
What, you're interrupting RJ.
Fuck off.
Why did you pin that?
Yo.
You're interrupting RJ.
This is nasty work.
We love you, British fans. We
This
love
man
you.
is from Texas, and it shows.
Since we're talking about the chat now, it's streaming is a crazy place because chat was really arguing about the NFL and the NBA earlier. This shit's like hilarious.
Yeah.
This is the NFL draft.
I was reading that. I was
It's the
like, what
NFL
the
draft
fuck?
today.
that was literally arguing. I was like, are we gonna progress that?
Oh
But yeah, I can look past bad direction and like, or not bad direction, but like not up to par direction. It's very clear that you really didn't have a vision outside of just animating the shit. So it was like, it's like that. It's kind of how I feel about the current My Hero anime, and it's just like I see the complaints about the direction and the animation choices, and I mean, let's not even get into the whole blue sky argument, but like,
Hey, man,
It matters.
I fuck with a blue sky though.
it does matter, and I see it, but for me, it really is just the writing. Like and this is me personally. I understand why people are complaining if the whole package of direction and animation need to come together for you to truly enjoy it. I mean, I'm right there with y'all. I mean, I trying not to bring up Freerun, but I mean, look at Freerun. Like, if the whole package is there, you truly enjoy it.
I'm getting tired.
And
You yourself.
Freeman has an elven woman. Yeah.
Or yeah, and Freerun has an elven woman, so you know, it's just I
Hey, MHA has Miracle. Come on.
if elves were there, she's not an elf.
That is
But MHA got her though. I mean,
MHA do got her. MHA,
Wait, which one's Miracle?
She the bad bunny.
Yo, oh my god.
You're disgusting. You're a bad person.
Yeah.
She's a bad bunny. What?
She is a bad bunny.
She's you know what she is? She's crippled. She's on life support now.
Still would.
my queen.
No.
It still would. It's so
Crazy.
crazy.
Who said that?
River, why?
I said my queen.
Yeah,
That's what I said. Y'all tripping, man.
River Y.
That's not what I said.
That's crazy.
So RJ said.
Oh, that's what RJ said. Oh my gosh.
I don't remember that. No
No
one
one can
clipped
get
that.
away with it.
No one clipped that. Anyway,
It's a TikTok already.
It's going up next.
Actually, hold on.
let's discuss them.
Damn, I can't do the markers.
Yeah. Moving on. I think another major point of My Hero discourse is the main character.
It's a good point.
A lot of
Let's talk about it.
The Deku hate. Let's talk about the Deku hate.
He cries all the
Hate?
time
I would say truth.
like a bitch.
truth.
I would say Deku truth.
Okay, I have a theory. And I'm just going to say it because I think it needs to be said, right? Deku gets a lot of hate because out of all of his counterparts, the JJKs, Chainsaw Mans, the Battle Shonens, out of all his counterparts, he is the most feminine.
He's the what?
He's the most what?
Feminine. He is not as masculine as all his counterparts, and that's why a lot of people hate him.
False, because I like females, so it's like
Oh my god.
That doesn't mean you don't like. No. Feminine,
You
not
saying
female.
female probably makes the point true. Jesus Christ.
Feminine, not female. So feminine would be more of a
Soft-spoken,
less aggressive, less in your face, more like a soft way. Not necessarily females, because there are some females that are aggressive and stuff. We're not getting into gender politics, but either way,
do you not think that Tanjiro is more feminine?
More feminine than Deku.
he
No.
does.
No.
I mean, low key though.
No,
I think because
But
Tanjiro
no,
does.
Owen.
I think because
they're at
Tanjiro
the
doesn't have
same
enough.
level.
Within his
honestly,
world.
Honestly.
Within his world, I'll preface
within
that.
its world, yeah, but I think Tanjiro gets an excuse because Demon Slayer is poorly written and there's less
No.
impactful emotional scenes of Tanjiro crying.
I think his excuse
what?
is that his whole fucking family died. I think that's a pretty good excuse. Wouldn't you say? Like, I don't know about you,
I mean-
but I would change. like
Deku's disabled.
Okay, but look, hear me out with Tanjiro.
I think Tanjiro gets an excuse because Demon Slayer is badly written and doesn't focus on emotion. I just
his whole family died to demons, and then he cries for the demons.
he's just
Serious right now,
bro. Come on now. No, because there is, I forgot what technical term it is, where people who are being held hostage or are going through trauma
Stockholm syndrome.
fall in love with. I don't even know if what you're saying
Do you,
is true.
I don't think that's
the Stockholm syndrome.
the same thing.
Okay. But
I don't think you're in a position to judge that. I have training for stuff like that. Do you? You don't. So shut the fuck up. All right, cool. Next point.
Because that's my theory. Because even in chat, you get that Deku's a bitch. I don't see it. I don't see that Deku being. I don't see Deku being a bitch. I don't, because since episode 1, when all the heroes were standing there watching Bakugo die, the quirkless nigga ran out and tried to save him. How is that a bitch?
That's true.
Deku's always the first one to run out and try to save everyone. He breaks his body for for 3 seasons straight trying to master a quirk. How is that a bitch? He's constantly breaking his arm just to fight. Like, how is that a bitch? Like, did you not see his fight with Overhaul? You're gonna call that man a bitch?
I mean,
Google Deku versus Overhaul right now. Watch that clip and call him a bitch. Like,
Google a bitch, you'll see Deku.
If you Google that, all I'm gonna say is you'll see a PowerPoint. That's all I'm gonna say.
Stop.
Is in reality is Deku just Rock Lee with opportunity?
I forgot who made that tweet.
That was Sage.
I saw Sage tweeted or he retweeted it.
No, fucking cite it, bro. You're over here just stealing people's.
YouTube Deku versus Overhaul. Watch the clip on Crunchyroll. Watch that clip.
It was actually good, I thought.
He put the fear of God in that man's eyes. People keep calling him a bitch. Like, I don't understand that. Literally punched him out of
Deku versus Overhaul. Deku versus Overhaul. Look, that's not my thing, right? You know what my thing is.
Yeah, I know what you're
doing. You know what my thing.
Yeah.
But I can agree that, like, for a lot of people, the softer traits in Deku is definitely like the first line of defense in terms of,
because their whole thing is Deku cries a lot. Like, what y'all niggas got against crying? Like,
it's a little OD though.
He does a little bit, because if you think about it, I'm kind of taking RJ's side.
Okay, but I gotta ask you this: Do you complain when a female character does the same thing?
If it was to that level, I would.
Think about that.
Because you gotta. Here's another thing.
Anime female characters cry all the time. You don't see nobody talking about nothing.
Deku's been through so much that I feel like he has hardened. He should be a little more hardened than he is from like the shit that he's done. Like against Overhaul, he looked badass as fuck. Like he's had badass moments, and it feels like he should be a little more badass than he is. I'm not saying he can't cry at all, because that's not the bad thing. I think it's just too OD, because I think Deku, for what he does in other elements of his character, I feel like it just doesn't come across in some of his personality.
Honestly, also, and I'll work off that too. You want to see? I want to see him. Like, I feel like in the beginning it's fine, because he's got a new quirk, he's got somebody telling him that he can do it, and he's in like his dream school and making progress. But he's making progress more with the quirk than he is with his own like emotional strength. Because like, if you got to get to that point too where it's like, all right, stop crying and start taking like be more just stronger, not physically but like emotionally, in the sense it's like you should already be used to this. If you're not, then I'm kind of tired of seeing it.
Okay, I would argue that, saying that he is, but you're not about to see Deku become like this next level, overly masculine type character. Because you look at the beginning of the series, he doesn't even talk back to Bakugo. End of the first season, after their first fight, he does. he does. Like, he does start standing up for himself. He does start becoming stronger more emotionally. It's just that Deku at his core is still he's still a soft person. He's a nice guy. He's a softie at his core. That's what he is, and that's why All Might gave him the power. That's why he has the whole savior complex that he does, because he's such a soft person. Like, that's not going to change. That's just who he is. And I feel like a lot of people expected Deku to lose that, and they call him a bitch because he has that. But if you ask me, the series really shows that just because you have that doesn't make you a bitch. Like, you like, he's just a soft guy. Like, that's just who he is. He's just a nice guy.
I was gonna get you for that moment that you turned into a broken record real quick, but I decided not to.
Did it go out on me?
I was gonna get you on that. I said nah. Let me not. But I do hear what you're saying.
He didn't lag up for me.
No, it wasn't the lag. It's just that's just how he did it. But I held back because I was about to skrrr on him. But
you talking about stuttering? Oh,
he's talking about my stutter. Yeah. I just feel like it's because Deku's more feminine. He's just a soft guy. Like, a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're a bitch. You're a soft guy." Like, being a soft guy makes you a bitch now. Like, I don't. Come on.
Yeah. I keep going back, like, every time we talk about Deku being a crybaby, but still having like this not tough ass persona, because we're talking about his persona, but like just this like power and ability. I think of Devilman Crybaby.
That's a good comparison. Yeah, that's
Kardiac, y'all, you see that in the chat, buddy?
You have 33 points. Shut the fuck up. Your football team's still in relegation zone, buddy.
Let me know what that quadruple's looking like, buddy. Okay, that Carabao Cup. It's a nice quadruple you got there.
I hear what you guys are saying. You guys are basically saying the action moments, the hyped action moments, like what he did to Overhaul, contrast his natural character of when he's just himself. I hear that. I have no reply.
He's like, I hear that, but I don't give a fuck.
I have no reply.
when it comes to it, I think that a lot of people have an it's the same thing that we said earlier about expectation. Even what River said, the expectation of, okay, the accumulation of the shit that he's gone through, theoretically, you would expect him to build up a wall of whether it be just like mental toughness or, if you want to say, masculinity. But that's not how a lot of people react. The average person actually just starts with a wall and it just deteriorates. Like, you could argue that, like, the wall that Deku had was the fact that he wouldn't push back. The fact that he was coming to accept his place in reality, his place in society, his place as someone who would never be the hero, his place as someone who would just be the fan, who would just be on the sidelines. But with him receiving a quirk, it put so many like obstacles in his way that are now deteriorating that sense of that sense of, like, you know, that wall that he initially built up, right? And so, just as you could say that, oh, he should be used to it by now, he should get over it, he should whatever, you could also say that the time and time events are forcing him to, or are just like tearing him down time and time again. Because he was almost a high schooler by the time he got a quirk. Like, he was like well through puberty. He was entering a stage in Japanese society to where, like, your life is basically your life. Like high school is the reason why Persona is set in high school, because it's the best balance in Japanese society that has freedom or whatever. That's the last stage of your life before your life is just your life until 90 years old, because that's Japanese life expectancy. And so, like, when you're dealing with someone in the mindset of that, am I freezing for y'all?
No, you're good.
Oh, okay, I think I don't know why it said that I froze on Twitch. Anyway, when you're dealing with someone who is just about at that stage of life, if anything, they've built up the wall already. They've built up the mental toughness. The mental toughness was him sitting with the bullying. Yeah, he still cried at the beginning of the series, but he took that shit. He went home every day. He came back to class. He was cool with it. He wasn't like suicidal at the start of the series or anything. He's just become more and more destructive. If anything, more and more self-sacrificial, more and more willing to put his body on the line. Now, the thing that makes him ass is the fact that there's no consequence.
Again, RJ's point I think is pretty valid. It just kind of comes down to, is he written well? Maybe not. But the main point that people kind of go to is that, and I think that, RJ has a good point with that kind of not being as valid as a lot of people think it is. But again, does that make him a good MC? I wouldn't say so, but I think he's a solid MC at moments for sure. It just in terms of like how he's written and how he develops, I don't think it's great. It's good though, but not great. And like Kardiac said, the consequences are just completely insignificant, I think, to be honest.
How do y'all feel about Deku having multiple quirks?
I was gonna ask that too.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I was gonna mention that because
chat's talking about it. So
yeah, Urzi said, I hate the trope of how character had no power, getting the most OP power in the verse, getting multiple quirks. I think that's another thing. He just kind of gets bailed out.
I feel like this goes back to the expectations, because for me, this isn't something that came out of nowhere. Like for me, one, I was happy with myself when I first saw it because I predicted that shit. I was like, one for all.
He's a chosen one character.
I was like one for all went to all quirkless niggas. Like no, somebody got a quirk in there. Deku probably has multiple quirks. So I called it like in like season 2, but for me it's never been a problem because All Might literally punches and changes the weather in episode 1. So when Deku received the quirk, I was like, yeah, he's gonna be OP. Like if it says this is the story of how I became the greatest hero, like I like this is the story of how he became OP. Like I never saw it as anything else. And I'm starting to realize that I might have been the only one that saw it like that, because I was like, literally, like even without the multiple quirks, he would have still been OP just with All Might's strength alone. Like, so it's like this doesn't really change much for me. Like I see what Urzi's saying, I do, but it's just like this wasn't this like it didn't. The story
wasn't going to be Batman.
Yeah, he wasn't going to be Batman. Like the story was never painted to be Batman. It was like, no, he's an average kid who got the ability to become Superman. Like quite literally, All Might's theme colors. Like literally, look at it. Like he's the average
Spider-Man ?
Now it would have been cooler though if he did have a little more of his own. Like he is having his creativity behind it, but just being granted all these abilities, it's like, okay, it would have been nice if it was like, okay, let's just let him have one thing that he has to kind of work with and use in his own way, and instead of just, okay, let's just add this on, and add this on, make him like come up with other shit. Like yes, he's learning how to use certain things, learning how to use to his advantage, but I think it's just a little too much. That's my thing, I guess.
My problem with it is, once again, the fucking passage of time. It happens off screen and within a semester. Mm-hmm. He masters 7 quirks stored in the power of one for all within like a report card term. 6 weeks.
Yeah.
That's fucking ridiculous. Off screen. That's fucking ridiculous.
I'll give you
that. Said progress reports are in. Shit, gotta master my quirks.
Like if the series was 200 chapters longer, but like the last 3 fights have just been like him awakening emotionally, get into an emotional state or a stress level, as him and Shigaraki are slowly building in power level, him just awakening quirk after quirk. It just popped up in my mind. I swear to y'all, I'm a better writer than Horikoshi. I'm not gonna lie. Look, imagine a series, right? Imagine if My Hero went like this after the Class 1A, Class 1B fight. The next 5 arcs are all arcs to where the heroes fucking lose. Every single one of them. Deku's involved. The whole Class 1A is involved. Tokyo's getting slowly, surely destroyed each time. Hero Society is falling apart each time. Somebody, either working at the school or an established hero that we know, dies every single time. But also, Deku hits high stress levels. and awakens to a new quirk in the One for All quirk each time. And you just have this slow ticking time bomb of the destruction of Hero Society, the destruction of Tokyo, this long spanning, just like, how fast can Deku master all of these quirks before like society's just destroyed, before Shigaraki is too powerful to be destroyed, whatever the fuck. I think that would have been an amazing trek towards the end of the series.
I hear you. I do. However, it depends on how Horikoshi would go about that, because they could get very repetitive. I think of him. It's like, all right, new arc, Deku unlock it. Like, it's like Naruto Shippuden's problem with the Akatsuki. How I hot take. I feel like Kishimoto underutilized the Akatsuki initially, because it was like, all right, new arc, which Akatsuki member is dying today? Like, like that's
Yeah.
Holy shit.
that's kind of
crazy.
That's kind of most of Naruto Shippuden. Let's be honest here. Like, it was like the Akatsuki took L's until like the very end, and like they were killing the Jinchuriki in the background, but we didn't know who those motherfuckers were, so we didn't really care. So it was just like,
yeah,
when it came to our main cast, they were just taking L's after L after L after L. So I feel like that is kind of would have been the problem. But I hear you. That definitely, either way, what you still said is still better than what he did. I'll agree with that. Because Deku mastering all that shit in like 2 weeks is ridiculous.
It's so crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
you're right. They
I
could
guess
have extended on that.
Mm-hmm.
I guess the last thing to ask, this pod will come out the day before My Hero season 7, right, begins airing.
Yep.
So I wanted to ask, do we think that with this season, or just with the way that My Hero has trended over the past few seasons or years, considering the fact that the manga is supposed to be ending this year, maybe, not quite sure, it was supposed to end last year, do we think that it is due for another level of popularity, or will it forever just be remembered as a series with lost potential? And I actually want to start with someone who doesn't have the most recent knowledge of My Hero and dropped it. And Alex, how do you think that's going to hit new levels, or it's just destined to be what it is now?
It might hit new levels, but for me, it dropped because the recurring theme for each season had like been resonated with me. Season 1, Deku didn't have any powers. What year did season 1 pop out? Anybody do you know?
16.
20.
Yeah. So finish high school. You're lost in the world. You feel related to a character. You get the theme of like being a hero. Season 2 is it the Stain arc, right?
Yes.
Is that season 2?
The end of season 2, yeah.
No. Oh yeah.
The end of season 2. Yeah.
Yeah, you get the recurring theme of what really is a hero. So I got that. Season 3 was like the just training, right? Like most of like
Bakugo retrieval arc.
Yeah, the Bakugo retrieval.
Okay, I like that. Then like season 4 for me was like, it didn't really have any recurring theme for me. And that's why I dropped it, because the last thing I remember seeing was the overhaul fight, and the last thing I remember was Deku punching the shit out of overhaul, and then I was like, I think halfway down, I just stopped watching it there, and I was like, what is the recurring theme for season 4? And I think it was like really dropped for me. But with seeing what RJ said about Deku having all these quirks and everything, that he still needs help being a hero, and I think the series is gonna pick up back up, and it's gonna by popularity, it's gonna be great again. But for me, I might have to just really push through the next 3 seasons to catch up in order to understand what's going on. But yeah, I think it's gonna pick up again, because the recurring themes are
TikTok.
there.
Just consume it through TikTok, right? In the last 9 months that we have of it.
Somebody send me a link to somebody's TikTok of 30-second clips of My Hero. I'll probably just go through them real quick.
Yeah. How about the rest of y'all? Y'all think it's gonna pick back up, or this is all she wrote?
See, listen, you say pick back up, but let's be honest here. The My Hero hype fell off. My Hero never fell off. It's still getting seasons. Those sales are still up. Horikoshi's still winning awards. Like it, like define fall off. Like define pick back up. Like we're on season 7. Like,
I mean popularity.
and popular.
And I know it's like very rare.
It's
for
still
like, this trickle down, but like
I think the overall like anime community push to watch My Hero will never pick back up. I don't think that will be a thing anymore. I think My Hero has cemented itself. It's 7 seasons in. It like you've had your run. No matter how you end this, you've had your run, right? I don't think the anime community push is gonna no one like the anime community is not gonna push My Hero like it did in the season 2 era. I don't think that's ever gonna happen again. As for like overall popularity, it's My Hero. Yeah, it'll remain popular. Like it's there. We can't get rid of My Hero. It will remain popular, and its legacy will be kind of issuing in this new age, this better age. Shout out to the boy Johnny Star. He said it when he was up here. We're in the best age of shonen anime. Let's be honest here. Because of My Hero's peaks, we're gonna get more peaks. Because of My Hero's flaws, we're gonna get corrections to what would have been a worse story. Like because of My Hero's flaws and peaks, we can get shit like Dandadan. Like when Dandadan comes out in October, I'm sorry for the man I will become when that anime airs.
Insufferable.
In
the same weeks as Blue Box, nigga.
Exactly. Oh my god. I am sorry.
We win.
Fall season this year. I am sorry for the man I will become. I'm already thinking Dandadan's going to be my anime of the year. Like I'm already thinking it. Like as a manga fan with Science Saru behind it, y'all not ready.
Just got to mute RG's Twitter in the next couple months.
Y'all not ready. But yeah, so I think overall what My Hero's legacy is going to be is issuing this new age of there are different ways to tell these battle shonen stories. So let's tell them about it. And I think My Hero was the first one to try that in a sense. And that's why its drops are so low, because Horikoshi was trying to build upon something while trying something different. And he failed in some aspects, let's be honest here. But a lot of new age mangaka are going to learn from him. And that will be My Hero's legacy, is issuing this new age of looking at these shonen stories differently.
Ichiban, I know you look like you was going to say something.
I did not know.
Oh my god.
All that build up to say I don't know is crazy.
No, I didn't. Wait, what do
you build up and release, man?
I do, but this time, I didn't release.
Pause.
Practicing retention, I see.
Pause again.
No pause. No pause. I meant what I said.
Resume.
But I can agree. I can agree to that. Of course, with just like how shows work in general, like usually a season 2 or season whatever, like it might cause general traffic to return to the show just in terms of like hype moments or whatever. But the days of a season 2, of a season 3, that's definitely out the window. And I think that honestly, its reputation, although I agree with you in terms of like the work itself being a testament and will stand the test of time, in terms of informing incoming mangaka of how to, write a long-running shonen for the foreseeable future. Because since the big 3, My Hero is the longest-running shonen manga. I believe in all of manga, but at the very least in WSJ. Ichiban?
Now I do have something to say. So yeah. So I'm looking at the chat right now, and they keep talking about how MHA was in the early years was overly hyped insanely, like just a fuck ton hype.
Mm-hmm.
And some people are even claiming that it's still overly hyped and they're not maintaining that hype very well. But then I also want to ask the chat, like, is it bad to be hyped like that? Is it bad to have that much popularity? Like, someone else even commented that anime want to push to that level of hype for their own anime, that there's other anime that want to reach that point. So it's like, do we have an anime here that we want our favorite to be like? and that's why we're hating on it because their anime is not there yet, or is it like, are they doing something right?
It's a
You tell me, are they doing something right?
it's a double-edged sword because with My Hero's popularity, it tried, like I said, it tried to reinvent the genre by using the tropes, and it was the first of its kind to later be followed by a Chainsaw Man, by a JJK, by all that stuff, right? To later be followed by them, and kind of issuing this new age of battle shonen particularly. But at the same time, it came out at literally kind of a year or two before anime really took off that mainstream focus. And I think that's why, because when we look back at now, we'd be like, oh, when did anime become mainstream? I mean, you guys saw the Twitter. This man is sideways.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Just give me 1 second. River, what the fuck are you doing, bro? This man is sideways.
Told
like
me to rotate it.
You look like a fucking a Moomin Rider right now. What are you doing?
There we go.
Okay, but now I'm not taking up the full screen, or am I? I don't know. I can't tell.
I don't know. All right, if you're gonna
You
start
are taking the full
driving,
screen.
I'm
this
not
man's
driving.
forehead all in the camera.
Yeah.
God damn.
I had to leave because I lost the right. I have more time in the room, so.
They said you look like a bad TikTok.
That's Archie.
Yeah, it came out. It came out in that age where anime was just about to become mainstream. That's why the whole Twitter debate, happened a couple of weeks back of what made anime mainstream, and a lot of people said was My Hero.
Oh, God.
Right? That dumbass debate, right?
Okay.
That's kind of
Part
why.
of it, though.
So that all of that accumulated into its hype. It's kind of the reason why, a lot of people don't like to say this, but it's kind of I think it was a good show. It's kind of the reason why Attack on Titan got all the hype when it first came out. Attack on Titan aired when the apocalypse genre storytelling was at its peak. The Walking Dead was airing. You had zombie movies every
2012.
like Attack on Titan came
Resident Evil.
Attack on Titan came out at the perfect time. Was the show good? Yes. Attack on Titan, you know how I think the show is really good. 9 out of 10. One of the best one of the best new age, not new age, but one of the best modern shows you can watch. But it came out at the perfect time, and the Studio Wit did not do that on purpose. It was a complete accident, but they got lucky that they released Attack on Titan when The Walking Dead was at its peak and everyone liked zombie stuff and all that stuff. My Hero is the same thing. It came out at the time where superhero movies were taking off. The superhero fad was going off. Everyone's waiting for Avengers Infinity War and all that stuff coming out. Like that's kind of where the hype built up to. So it's just like, was My Hero actually worth the hype? Well, no. Is anything really worth the hype? At the same time, it's a double.
Fern?
It's Freeman is worth hype. Freeman is worth hype. That is true. That is true. But it's like it's a double-edged sword in a way. So it's like it's a mixture of some people wanted their anime to be up there, and other people do think it's overhyped generally, and other people are just straight out haters. Shout out to Archie. No, stop. But. But yeah,
that's true. I agree. I think that with hype comes expectation, because hype is different from just general popularity, and it's also different from being any type of indicative of like quality, right? So with hype, just blanket excitement for a moment or for a series, it brings in so many people who are unfamiliar with how to analyze this medium critically. What tropes already exist, the level of quality that already exists, and just like different telltale signs of how to read manga, watch a series, and what's come before and what will come after. Because like I'd say that most of us up here like have that understanding just because of how much anime and how many manga we might have seen and read. For My Hero, Jesus Christ, for My Hero specifically, I think that hype reached a level that was like almost at its peak, almost at like any anime's peak, pre-mainstream revolution, right? Pre-Demon Slayer 80 million manga sales, pre JJK, yeah, pre JJK being aired on whatever the fuck, pre anime being widely available on HBO Max and Netflix and Disney Plus. I think that it reached the peak hype that it could then. Do I think that other anime want that? Like on just like an industry level, like yeah, but in terms of like, do I think that other anime can handle that? Do I think that other anime can get that level of hype and then live up to it potentially? Do I think that other anime in a post My Hero and after Attack on Titan can get that hype and not see the same fall off that a My Hero did? I don't know. I don't know if I don't know you as a Don Don fan. I don't know if I want Don Don to have that level of hype.
No,
I didn't know if I wanted Chainsaw Man to have that level of hype. Like these are series that are starting to get more experimental. That are starting to some of them are slower burns. Some of them have like 4-chapter arcs. So like it depending on series to series, not only does it depend on the level of like wherewithal and attention span that the reader and the watcher has to have, but some of it's just not made for a general audience.
Yeah.
Okay,
like,
I understand
some of this shit
that.
is weird.
No, actually, I don't. What the fuck? Why wouldn't you want it to have so much hype? It's like,
because
do you want to
people won't understand it? I think.
Yeah, because let me tell you right now.
No, y'all are just gatekeepers. Y'all are gatekeepers.
In a way, I mean, didn't Kardiac make a video about
elitist
how gatekeeping is not that bad? How gatekeeping is not that.
We need to gatekeep anime. We need to gatekeep anime.
I mean, Kardiac did make a video. I mean, he was spitting in that video. Shout out to the video.
Fuck.
I miss the old Kardiac, man.
Because like, even 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, no one was questioning, even if it wasn't your favorite anime, no one was questioning FMA's place. Nowadays, it's like people are questioning FMA, and it's just like, brother, it's like we're questioning FMA now. Like you got people watching FMA Brotherhood, right? Because of its hype, because of it's the number one anime in the world, masterpiece, 10 out of 10. People coming out saying, "Nah, this shit's ass." Like we're seeing it in real time with Freerun. Like we're seeing it in real time with Freerun. Like,
Augie once again.
Yeah. we're seeing it.
MHA.
Freerun was beloved. Freerun was everyone was enjoying Freerun, and then when the Freerun hype hit around like episode 6 or something, or I don't know, whenever Freerun started, really blowing up, that's when these wave of people started coming in. Shit's ass. This shit's not good. It's not beating FMA. I'm sleeping. Freerun put me to sleep. I mean, we saw it with Demon Slayer, although they were right about Demon Slayer. We saw them with Demon Slayer, right? Episode 19 drops. Demon Slayer becomes this worldwide phenomenon. Like, and it's just like, did Demon Slayer benefit from that? Because no, Demon Slayer was on no one's radar. Episode 19 drops. Suddenly, it's the number one anime in the world now. Like, this hype is a double-edged sword. So with stories you beloved, like no one wants to see anyone hate on their shit. That's kind of the gist. It's just like hate on their shit, not even validly, just to hate on it, just because it's hyped. Like, because if Don blows up and niggas are talking about, oh, why are they making dick jokes and ball jokes? I'm gonna be like, y'all don't see, y'all don't understand.
You don't get the vision.
Like,
he has to get his balls back. You don't understand.
Like,
I've been reading this for 200 chapters.
Exactly.
He still doesn't have it.
Like, you don't understand. Like, you don't see the vision. Like, we're getting to the point where we're about to see someone on Twitter be like, why are there so many Himmel flashbacks in Freerun? Like, what do you mean? Why are there so many Himmel flashbacks in Freerun?
Let me stop.
Like, what do you mean? That's the point of the show. Like, what's going on here? Like, so hype is a double-edged sword at the end of the day.
So would you agree with the statement? MHA over One Piece?
Hell no. Hell no.
Well, if I told you River and Augie were arguing that with me,
One Piece is a good example, right? One Piece is a good example. I mean, you guys know the One Piece fandom. Like, come on now. One Piece fandom used to be civil. We used to just be enjoying our funny, goofy pirate manga, and then One Piece became hype. Like, and now Now it's one of the most toxic fan bases you can find because, you know.
Hey, in terms of within the community, I think it might be number one, low key. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
One Piece?
Not everything needs to be popular.
River confirmed MHA over One Piece supporter. Is that what you're saying?
No, I would say
He
no.
is going to lose in court,
no.
guys.
Guys, you're gonna lose, River. You're gonna lose.
That's a man that looks like he would lose.
It's like
This is insane. You're on my dick.
One Piece
my dick.
Oda has been cooking for years, and now people are noticing that Oda's cooking, and suddenly it's like a very toxic fan base. I mean, you once another example, Spy Family, right? The manga was cooking for years. Suddenly, the anime comes out, and you saw the TikTok of that TikToker with the allegations against Spy's Family. Like,
oh my,
yeah, like what are you talking about? Like, come on,
Archie says, RJ, you let these goofy ass idiots in the fan base. That's why. Archie, which fan base are you talking
he's
about?
talking about One Piece.
You're the reason why we have a Netflix original series.
I mean, it's like Netflix original series was not good, by the way.
Hey man, shout out to the break weeks, man. Shout out to the break weeks.
What?
You know.
Oh my god. Man, I don't know what
I
he's
know.
talking about. All
I'm
I
talking
do
about the
know
One
is
Piece break weeks. They be toxic.
He's on his own.
So solo leveling.
you sound like the type of person to lose in a Crawford County court, man.
Shut the hell up.
Okay.
You know what's on my screen? List of counties, Illinois, Wikipedia.
It's just
man.
I'm more just angry. I am furious at the fact that these make sense. And you're just saying shit at this point. Oh my god. This man's throwing threes.
They're throwing people off or putting them on.
He's throwing threes from across the court.
It's crazy. And it's not hitting, by the way. That is not true. But I think we can all agree that My Hero will in fact have a legacy. And with that being said, let's talk about what really makes a legacy, and that is characters. So, what I want you guys to do today is to rank these characters from My Hero. That being Deku, Bakugo, All Might, and Todoroki.
Like, on likability or just like power?
As a character.
Can I put them all at 4?
Yeah.
Or...
Oh, I got you. You said Deku, Bakugo, Todoroki, and All Might?
Yeah.
All right. I got this. Bakugo is going first all the time.
Bakugo's number 1. Oh,
Interesting.
Okay.
Bakugo at number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Todoroki at number 2. Oh shit! Wait.
We're doing this off how we like them, or
Yeah, Todoroki at number 2.
okay.
All Might number 3. Deku number 4. And I'm only putting Deku at number 4 because I'm like gathering everything that he is, like from beginning to end, and how I see him as a whole. I'm not doing it for reasons which we have just talked about, right? I'm doing it just because it's like,
just to clarify,
just my personal preference is because this is how I am. Like in my mind, I'm like Bakugo. I'm just fucking fuck you and like just explosive. But on the outside, I am like a Todoroki where I'm just quiet and I'm just chilling.
The fuck?
Yeah. But then on the inside of the inside, you're like a Deku.
And on the inside of the inside, River's on my dick again, and we could just move on.
Okay. All right, who's gonna go next?
River being on the inside is so crazy.
Notice chat. Whoa.
I'll go.
I'm gonna ignore that.
Number 1, I will also have Bakugo.
Hey.
Bakugo's one of the better characters in the series. Number 2, I will also go Todoroki. I think Todoroki, for the spotlight that he has at points in the series, is really well written, especially with his family. Number 3, I'll take Deku. And at number 4, I'll have one of the worst characters in the show, All Might.
Whoa!
Clock out. Clock
Also-
out, Kardiac. Clock
Damn.
out.
Clock out.
Clock out for me. So number 1 for me is All Might. One of the best characters in the show. Fuck Kardiac.
Let him cook.
He said, "Who are you?"
Number 2, I'm the only one that's gonna put respect on his name. Apparently, is Deku. Number 2 is Deku.
Damn, bar
Um,
or no bar?
Bar for bar.
yeah. Number 2 is Deku. Number 3 is Bakugo. Also one of the best characters in the show, if you ask me. And number 4 is Todoroki.
That's tough.
One of the most overhyped characters in the show. He has a cool design and a cool power. That's it.
Fell off.
You know, was never on.
I feel like
He was never on.
I feel like
He had
I
that
feel like
one moment.
everybody only likes him because he has white hair.
He had that one moment. Hey, shout out. He had that one. he had that one moment in season 2, and then Horikoshi has not utilized him since in the anime. I don't know about the manga. I've not caught up in the manga. So
Alex, what you got?
As me, River the Flow God. I choose Todoroki, All Might, Deku, and Bakugo.
Damn!
That's
Oh my god!
A-list.
He said, "Flip that shit."
Anyway,
RJ, fuck you, RJ.
so as the real
That's what
River
he
the
said.
Flow
do y'all
guy,
think-
let me go ahead and give y'all my list. At 1 we got
Pause.
All Might. You feel me? At 2 we got Bakugo. At 3 we got Deku, and at 4 we got Todoroki. Bro, fall off needs to be studied. Bro. All right, I'm gonna have you
Keep going,
guys
keep going, keep
blind rank these characters for me. Okay, it's gonna be a 1 through 5.
What the
Okay.
5?
Oh god.
Fuck.
First character, Goku. Just say where you're putting him.
2.
3.
5.
2.
All right. Second character we have Luffy.
5.
1.
1.
2.
Third character we have Mikasa.
4.
5.
Mikasa from Attack on Titan.
Wait.
Yeah.
5.
Ichiban, Mr. Bond.
4. Bitch, I know it's my turn. I don't need you to remind me.
Fourth character we have All Might.
3.
4.
3. He's made.
4.
Like a little mid.
And for our last character we have Mob.
1. Yeah, 1.
1. God damn it.
3, right? Yeah, 3 left. Yeah, 3.
I should have put Goku at 1 instead. I didn't have this man at 2.
You
Yeah,
Mexican.
that's what I would.
Yeah.
I had the. Oh my
Actually,
god.
yeah, no,
Amazing statement.
that's my ranking.
I had the perfect
Yeah,
list.
man.
That was what I would have
Yeah.
ranked them.
Luffy 1,
Oh,
Goku 2,
yeah.
Mob 3, All Might 4, Mikasa 5. Yeah.
I would
I'm
move
cool with that.
Mikasa and Luffy if I had the chance.
Luffy, Mob.
I wrote it down.
Who's the first name?
Goku.
You should have been more
Goku.
prepared. Don't tell him.
Goku, All Might, and that
That
bitch.
bitch is crazy.
This is insane. Okay, next up it's gonna be the same thing, but this time for anime. We're gonna blind rank these
What?
5 anime. Okay, all right.
All right.
River,
First anime.
decide right now. Do you want your camera off or on?
I'm checking my notes.
You're giving me a seizure.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first anime, Demon Slayer.
5. What?
I'll do
5.
4. I'll go 4.
Yeah, Demon Slayer. 3.
Okay.
Second we have Haikyuu.
Damn it. 4.
1.
2.
4.
4.
4. Below Demon Slayer.
It was a haiku. Haiku would have been 5 instead of 4.
All right. Next we have Attack on Titan.
Ooh, 2.
2.
3. Haikyuu over Attack on Titan. I stand by it.
That's crazy.
Shit.
Facts.
Shit. 2.
Next we have Pokemon.
Damn it. I would have put Pokemon at 5.
5.
No cap, I'm betting it all. 3. Only spot I got is 5 now.
Are you betting
No,
it
I said
all, or
1.
are you catching it all?
And last but not least, or for some, the least, we have One Piece.
Fuck, man, I have
1.
it at 1. Oh.
1.
God damn it!
Yeah, 1.
He
There you
tricked
go.
me!
Hey,
He fooled
You
me!
got
go.
my ass.
what we got? One Piece
5.
was 2. Haikyuu, 3. Attack on Titan, 4. Pokemon, and 5. Demon Slayer. Yeah, I stand by it.
I got One Piece,
Hi-
AOT, Pokemon, Haikyuu, and then Demon Slayer. I would have had that shit switched. I would have had these other different order.
Unfortunate.
Haikyuu, One Piece. No, Haikyuu, Attack on Titan, One Piece, Demon Slayer. No, I'm tripping.
Pokemon?
He's cheating.
No, it was Haikyuu, Attack on Titan,
He's edging.
Pokemon, Demon Slayer, One Piece.
Crazy.
If it was up to me, I would have Pokemon at 5.
I did.
hating-
I had Pokemon.
Why are you
at
hating
5.
on Pokemon?
I had One Piece,
Having Pokemon
One
under Demon
Piece.
Slayer is crazy.
AOT, Demon Slayer, Haikyuu, and Pokemon.
Having Pokemon under Demon Slayer is crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, it is. Well, anyways, man.
I got One Piece under Pokemon.
Just like My Hero, just like Deku, it's that time where I just get emotional.
Oh my god.
Crocodile tears.
We gotta say bye.
Is it time for us to fall off?
If you want to see more of us, join the
Don't worry, chat. We
Patreon
don't fall off. The
because
only person that falls off is River.
I don't know why I get
Just like he fell out the library.
If you want to help me regain the flow god, then join the Patreon so I can buy it back on Riverside. But please help. And also join the Discord and chop it up with us, man. And like and subscribe. We're almost at 500 subs. And certainly not least, make sure to go subscribe to On the Rise because RJ makes great content over there, man. It's so great. I'm crying.
Amazing content.
Go check them out, man.
Thank you. As always, boys, thanks for having me. It's always fun chatting up.
Of course.
At the end of the day, fuck that nigga Cardi. Let me stop.
Damn.
Crazy.
Damn.
You know what? I'll give it to him. I was slandering him last stream. I called his bluff. He came today. He put on a bitch ass show.
Hey, fuck you too.
You rode Dick well today, man.
Right?
RJ is after this pod. RJ has never been that My Hero allegation.
He's right. I did write Dick well. I learned from him when he was on that Chainsaw Man ass. I'm watching him. So
I'm riding part 2 too, nigga. Get on with it.
Thanks to RJ for coming on. Thank y'all for tuning in. We love each and every one of you. Comment below your thoughts on My Hero, because we care. I will read the comments, and one day soon we may be replying to comments on stream. If you want to see that, make sure it's happening to the Twitch. Make sure it's happening to the Twitch.
I thought you were gonna.
Hey,
I thought you were gonna say, "Soon we're gonna reply to comments."
Donate for River.
Maybe.
Bot numero uno. Yes,
but
please.
not
donate for
today.
River's internet.
he said maybe we'll notice you.
Oh my goodness. But anyways, man. On that note, we do have to say goodbye. So we love you guys. Flow out.
Y'all be easy, you two.